Hello YouTube, Chrome Freak here. As you can see, I'm at the National Navy Underwater Demolition Team SEAL Museum. The SEAL started out as the UDT teams, and this is the actual museum here in Fort Pierce, Florida, where they actually got their start and where they trained right here on this beach, which is just right on the other side of these trees, and there's a condo next door to the museum here, but that is the beach literally right there where they trained. And we're going to take a little tour here of the museum. I know there are some retired Navy SEALs that actually work here or volunteer here. Whether I can get an interview with one of them or not, I will try. But we're going to at least go in and look at some of the artifacts and relics they have. And I know they have a pretty good firearms room in there of the firearms they actually used. And we'll see what we can get on video. And I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I do. I've been wanting to come here for quite a while, so let's go ahead and walk in, and I'll just be turning it on and off as we go, and I'll try to edit everything in nicely. Okay guys, be back with you. Okay guys, the Patrol Boat River, PBR, these are the boats that were actually used in Vietnam. These are jet propulsion, almost like a jet ski. These things, believe it or not, can operate only 9 inches of water. And these are the ships that the SEALs used to patrol the rivers in Vietnam. They were armed with 50 caliber machine guns, grenade launch, 40 millimeter, I believe, grenade launchers. Let's check that out. See, yeah, 40 millimeter grenade launchers and M60 machine guns. And these things did some damage to Charlie there in Vietnam. And it's pretty cool to see them right here. As you can see, there's a Huey right there. We'll get a closer look at that in a minute. I'm sorry for the shaking. But inside the museum is really what I'm interested in. And I'll just be giving you guys little pieces here and there, just like this. Let's jump up in here and see what we got here. Okay guys, this boat right here is a Special Operations Craft 6 SOC-6. This actual boat right here itself was used in Desert Storm. As you can see, it's still operational according to what I just read here on the description of it. It's pretty cool. It will never be used again, but it could be. It is operational fully. And as you can see, this is where the SEALs actually stood, right back in here. And if you read the little plaque right here, they came within 20 yards of the beach under cover of darkness to conduct a direct action raid against an Iraqi base off the coast of Kuwait in 1991. So this was an actual boat used in Desert Storm and did see action and was about to be destroyed when a group of SEALs, one of actually who fought on this boat, saved it and got it here to the museum. And I thought it was pretty cool, and I figured I'd show you guys. But this was pretty much just to bring them to a destination, as you can see. Well, let me get down off the thing here. And I know I'm kind of shaky. They're saying this boat here will run in excess of 90 miles an hour, okay? So, as you can see, it's built like a modern day speedboat. Okay, these are some of the guns that were on the river patrol boat. As you can see, they're mounted on a turret. And he could spin that turret and shoot basically 360, but you don't want to do that because you'd be shooting right back into your own boat. But it will spin 360, which is pretty cool, I thought. And we'll come on over here and take a look at the Huey. And they also have some capsules from, I'm not sure what rocket jet, we'll find out, but these are actually real ones too. And the gentleman we just seen, I just spoke to, is actually former Army. He's just a volunteer here, but there are SEALs that are here, volunteer SEALs here also. So let's take a walk over here and see what we have. Okay, one's the Apollo capsule. Oh, this was a training device. Okay, this was not the actual capsule. It was a training capsule. And they would actually drop it. Let me see what this says. Yeah, they would do splashdowns with this. They'd drop it with guys in it and then recover them. But it was not an actual, you know, from Apollo. It was just a training capsule. Now right here, Iranian Gunboat. This was a Swedish-made Iranian gunboat armed with Russian weapons. It's two of the boats recovered by SEAL teams during Operation Earnest Will in the Persian Gulf. One boat was sunk and then recovered from a depth of over 100 feet by the SEALs. The second boat was recovered adrift following a brief surface engagement. After being used by training by Special Boat Squadron 1, Coronado, California, the boat was sent here to the museum. So let's take a look at this. This is an Iranian gunboat. It's pretty neat. Well, we have one of their gunboats armed with Russian weapons. Nothing special, as you can see. Got some big guns on her, but nothing special. The Iranians better come up with a whole lot more than this if they want to defeat us, and I guess that's what they're working on with their nuclear weapons, huh? Anyway, let's get inside to the real deal. We'll take a look at the helicopter here, and then we'll get inside to the real deal. I know a couple of these right here are submarines, 4-man subs, 6-man subs, that these guys actually went in. I mean, look at that. I mean, you don't see anything. You're basically you're up to electronics is what you're relying on when you're in those. But anyway, let's take a look at the UE here. Yeah, the UH-1B, also called the UE, was flown by Navy personnel from a helicopter attack like Squadron 3, HLL-3, during the war in Vietnam, nicknamed the Sea Wolves. So this one was stationed in the Mekong Delta and was actually used in Vietnam. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And I thank all the veterans for their service, all of them. As you can see, here's more of the pavers that go all the way down and on each side. I was also told by the gentleman that the odds of becoming a Navy SEAL from those who actually want to become one, just take a quick look around at everything. Pretty cool. The odds of actually becoming a true blue SEAL are very, very, very slim. From the amount of men that actually want to become one, you stand a better chance of getting hit by lightning. If that tells you the toughness of the men and the heart and the courage that these guys have to become one. It's not an easy thing to do. Okay, I'll be back with you guys in a minute. This is a pretty interesting sub right here. MK8 Model 0 SEAL delivery vehicle. This thing is a sub, but it's unique in that it did fill with water. So the SEALs that actually were in here would breathe scuba. They had their self-contained, as you can see right there. There's one right there, there's one right there. They also had scuba tanks on, but they had tanks that were inside of here that they would hook to right here, would be their regulators. And then they would go to their own self-contained scuba when they got out and exited the vehicle. So this just delivered them to where they needed to be. This is just some pretty cool stuff. Let's look at the back of it. Yeah, this is nothing but a compartment to ride in with more regulators, as you can see. One right there, one right there. Wow, that's a cramped spot. I can't even imagine. You can see it's got a pretty big propeller on it too for being such a small sub. And let's see how quick this one would move. The other one, they didn't give me knots, but let's see if this one actually gives me knots. And it does not. But this one was used in Kuwait also. Look at that. This one was used in the Persian Gulf, so this is not that old again. So this is a sub that was actually used. Probably everything here was probably actually used at one time or another. Let's take a look at this one right here before we get inside, get to the good stuff. Well, this is all good stuff to me. Okay, a landing craft, personnel, Lcpl. This was built after World War II. The Frogman went over the side into a rubber boat and then into the water and picked up again much the same way. Although this boat is much larger than an Lcpl, it was now much faster because it had a bow. These guys were killed in action. God have mercy on their souls. Thank you for your service. They gave their on this boat. They were actually killed from on this boat. Wow. Thank you guys. They give it all for us. They really do. They give it all for us. Think about it. What do we give back to them? Please let's support our troops. Alright guys, let's go on side. Well, we'll take a walk over here and see what they got. We got some more stuff. Probably just more training stuff than anything. Yeah, beach obstacles. Yeah, they'd use these as obstacles when they're during their training right here on the beach, which once again is just right behind them bushes. And at one time, this was probably the beach right here where we're standing. So these probably hadn't been moved here. They've probably been here for quite a while. Yeah, it's just stuff they use for training. All right, let's go on inside. It's pretty neat to see the volunteers that are working here. The Army gentleman I spoke to right there, still right there in the red shirt, he explained quite a bit to me, and I might be able to get a SEAL on video. Let's see, with an interview. Be back in a minute. This is the statue that's right out in front of the museum right there, with another submarine. And this is just a memorial to the SEALs who gave their lives for our country. It says, in memory of our fallen comrades who have sacrificed their lives in the service of their country while serving in the United States Navy with naval combat demolition units, scouts, and raiders, underwater demolition teams, and sea, air, land teams. Dedicated to UDT-SEAL Museum Association Incorporated, 9th of November 1984. This is a 4-man SDV, which is a swimmer delivery vehicle, and it is a submarine. As you can see, there's no windows, no nothing. They relied completely on instruments, and it would deliver SEALs or swimmers to a certain area where they would beach themselves for attack. Just amazing. It's a fiberglass hull to avoid sonar. Alright guys, let's go on inside the door. Be back in a minute. Okay guys, we're inside the museum right here, and this is just an example of some of the weapons. I think we all know what we're looking at right here. We're looking at a Springfield M1903 on top. Everybody better know what an M1 Garand is. Oh, look at that. Huh? The 45, 1911 Colt. And right there is the 45 Colt revolver, model 1917. Right here we got the Browning machine gun, the M1917. As you can see, the ammunition box attached to the side of it, it was belt fed. Just pretty awesome stuff right here. Look at the old communications. Mortar. Just some really cool stuff. I'll get back with a lot more weapons here in a little bit. Okay guys, Draper Kaufman. This guy is called the father of the underwater demolition. He started the UDT teams and is considered the father of the UDT teams and the SEALs. And these were his actual accommodations and medals. And I thought this would be pretty cool to show. A great American right there. All of them are. All these guys. Everybody. Everybody. This is just some really cool stuff. If you guys are ever in Fort Pierce, Florida, you must stop by this museum. It's almost a must. There's, look at the M1 Carbine right there. Beautiful. Every weapon in here, by the way, is authentic and actual used. Look at the old K-bar right there. Wow. And you see, we'll get to some more weapons here in a minute. Some really cool weapons here in a minute. Okay, guys, be back to you. Okay, guys. There's a 9mm Parabellum pistol. As we all know what that is. This one here was manufactured in 1918, was police issued. This dagger with the inscription, which I cannot read, but it is interpreted everything for Germany. Luger pistol. Right here is a 6.5 caliber Corcano bolt action circa 1942. This is the same rifle, not the exact rifle, but the same make, rifle, and model that was used to assassinate John F. Kennedy. Just some real neat stuff right here. Okay guys, can you guess what this is? You know what, I gotta change batteries. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, this is a Japanese machine gun. It's a Type 92, 7.7 caliber, first issued in 1932, called the Woodpecker because of its rate of fire. It was stuttering, it almost sounded like a woodpecker when it fired. So they nicknamed it the Woodpecker. Let's see what this flag is. This is a flag autographed by an underwater demolition team 24 when they defeated an occupying Japanese force and took down their flag. And they signed it all and put their underwater demolition team mark right in the center of it. Pretty cool. Proud to be an American. This is the way we should still be fighting wars. Okay guys, this is a snare that they would hold in their inflatable boats. And this part right here would be tied to the boat, and this big loop would hang over the side. As you can see from this picture, a swimmer in the water would come by and stick his arm in the loop, snagging him, and then they drag him into the boat. These are some brave men. I mean, just being in this museum and looking at some of these pictures, and I know I'm not getting them all, but it's just, it amazes me, the bravery of our men and what they went through from our First World War. I mean, heck, all the way from the beginning. But these guys are just, it just amazes me how they'll sacrifice all guys for us. This is just a great museum, and I highly suggest you guys visit it. I can't even describe it, but we're going to be getting into some really cool weapons here in a few minutes, and I'll get back to you when I do. Okay guys, this is a Honeywell grenade launcher. MK18, 40mm grenade launcher. You actually crank the handle right here. Rate of fire was how quick you could crank the handle, launching grenades. They were built for 2 years. Between 3 years. 1,200 were made between 65 and 68. And right over here, take a look at this guy. This is the MK20 40mm grenade launcher. It was improved. It was the improvement of the hand crank version. And to be able to get close to some of the stuff is just amazing to me. There's your sights. 350, 300, 200, and 100 yard sights. There's a lot of the dive equipment we use. You know, back over there is actual videos of the training, buds training they call it. It's just what the guys have got to go through. It's amazing. Now what we're looking at right here, I think we all know that that's a 50 caliber. This is used in Desert Storm. I'm sorry, this is Iraqi Freedom. That is the 50 caliber sniper rifle. Now we get over here and we get into some beautiful weapons. And we'll start from the top. 7.62 MK11. Guys, this is just really neat. The 5.56mm MK12. Got a can on the end, the bipod. .380 Walther. There's a can, U.S. government can. I'm hoping you can read that. that's issued by the U.S. government, silencer on the 45 ACP MK23. H&K MP5. And like I said, every one of these weapons are fully functional. M4A1, M203 with a grenade launcher. You can see the grenade in there. Just a really beautiful, beautiful firearm. It says non-firing on it. I guess it's been disabled now, the grenade launcher I'm talking about. But the gentleman in the front told me that every firearm in here is functional, so I'm assuming they just probably, the grenade launcher itself would be a non-firing one. It's M4A1 with ACOG, it's the sights. It's all different sights we use, guys. The lighting. See, it's got a Surefire on there. It's another Surefire. This is a 5.56 MK46 with an ACOG. It's a machine gun, belt fed. 223 or 5.56 for San NATO. And a 7.62 MK48. Wow, guys, just some beautiful firearms. Some beautiful, beautiful firearms. And the thing with NASA and the SEALs and the UDT teams, before '63, I believe it is, they were called UDT teams before they became the SEALs. Is they were the ones that recovered the capsules, as you can see right here. They recovered all the rocket capsules and right on up to the space shuttle, recovering the booster rockets and all that. So they played a role. Here's one of the actual boats they reused. Oh, look at there's a motorcycle over there. Can't wait to get to that. And as you can see, we got another wall full of firearms. I can see an AK from here. Can't wait to get over there. I'll get back to you guys here in just a minute. Actually, just keep going. Well, walking right on over. Trench gun. Look at that trench gun. Nice shotgun right there. Very rare. I just seen one going for sale the other day on an auction, I think for about $4,400, I want to say. Beautiful firearms. What do we got there, guys? I'll get back there down there. Some really neat stuff. This is kind of depicting how SEALs would come in to find caches of weapons that the Vietnamese would hide. And we'd go in there and basically take their weapons, find their caches, and destroy them. Okay, guys, this motorcycle right here was built by an anonymous SEAL teammate as a tribute to the 11 valiant Navy SEALs and 8 members of Task Force 160 who were killed in Afghanistan in June of 2005 during Operation Red Wing. This was the largest loss of life on any one operation in Navy SEAL history. And it's a beautiful motorcycle. And it gives the names of all the gentlemen who gave their lives for us on the tank. Just absolutely gorgeous. And what's even cooler is a SEAL member built this and wanted to remain anonymous. He doesn't want any credit. He wants it all to go to the men who gave it all to us, right there. Absolutely beautiful motorcycle. Built and dedicated to the museum in honor of them guys. Desert Fighter. Special. No one is left behind. It's really neat. Okay, we're gonna get into the knives here, the multi-tools. knives and bayonets ever used. Some really, really cool. stuff. Okay, guys. There's a HK-23A1. It's a German 5.56, West German. Reminds me of my Setme, huh, guys? Look, kind of look like a Setme or an or the VTR, a G3. Same type of design. Except as you can see, this was belt fed. Here's a Stoner, MK-23. There's another Stoner model 63A. Folding stock. Gentleman using it. And there's pictures of all these guys using all these weapons. The Stoner model 63. Okay, here's a modern M16. It says modern, with a modern suppressor, I'm sorry. This is a Vietnam era M16 with a modern suppressor on it. Boy, would I love to have this. Here's an early model suppressor. There's the inside of one. And the M60, 7.62 millimeter machine gun. Also belt fed. Fine example. And there's your MAC 10. It's an Ingram 9 millimeter. Okay, 45 M3A1, 45 caliber submachine gun, grease gun. There you go, guys. 1911. Beautiful, beautiful looking 1911. There's a Sten K3. I'm hoping I'm getting this, guys, on video. Smith & Wesson 176. .40 millimeter pump grenade launcher, almost like a shotgun, but it's a pump grenade launcher. You can see the sights there, kind of rudimentary. Here's another M16 with a grenade launcher on it. They're saying AR-15, M79 grenade launcher. There's a Laws. If I can get it, I hope you're seeing that. Okay, the Chicom Type 57 rocket launcher. You see the Chinese writing on it. AK-47.
Oh yeah, okay. I get to go too?
There's a stamped receiver on this one. It's a Swedish K. A French mat.
Well, you want me to come on board? Oh.
Vietnamese K50M. What you got right here is a Russian PPS H41 drum fan. Russian Makarov. But you can still find some of these around. They're not too hard to find, not too difficult. German Luger, German P38, and a Browning High Power. Guys, this little pistol is a homemade Vietnamese pistol used during the Vietnamese War for assassinations. It's chambered in 9 millimeter. This is a Smith & Wesson 357 that was presented to Richard Morcinko, SEAL, Team 6. Some of the beers that they would drink when they were in Vietnam. Toilet paper with Jane Fonda's face on it. Yeah. Handsaw. Once again, the training that they got to go through and how few actually make it in the different phases, from bugs, basic underwater demolition, right on down to the finished SEAL, as you see right there. The finished guys, the ones who made it. The only easy day was yesterday. As you can see, there's what I was showing you earlier, where they'd come by and grab, a guy would stick his arm through there and they'd grab him out of the water. Just tough men. Really tough men. Here guys, here's an old K-bar. It's a French rebreather. Submarine lockout. They're exiting in their submarines. I keep eyeballing that Browning back there. Can't stop looking at it. Just gorgeous, guys. Look at this, they call these coral shoes to walk on the coral reefs. Just some really neat stuff. Some more of the pictures of training they got to go through. Explosives on bridges. This is just a great museum. Now here's some of the subs that we're showing you outside that were actually in use. This is the one I was showing you, had the regulators in it, and they'd actually use scuba to breathe inside there. It's another one. This is the one that's fiberglass, no sight. There they are right here. Just some, there's a two-man sub. These guys would use these to sneak up into areas, come ashore at night, and do what they had to do. UDT-21, this is in 1973, and that's almost identical to the sub I showed you outside also. Just some really neat stuff. And some of the knives they carry here to sell. There's a Vietnam campaign, Vietnam, Purple Heart, Iraqi Freedom. Some of the knives, Army, Navy, Special Forces, Marines, for 20 bucks. Not a bad deal. Cheap Smith & Wesson knives, kind of. This is what they sell to support books.
Fort Lauderdale to Maine. One leg. Tough guy. Nicest people too. He and his wife both. She was in former Navy or former Marine.
Yeah.
She didn't look like any slouch either.
Johnny was M60, was airborne ranger.
Oh, he was.
He was in Alaska and
Wow.
and Washington, state of Washington.
Airborne Ranger?
Yeah.
Very good.
And then my son, of course, was communications.
It's nice t-shirts and all that. They sell all this stuff just to support the place, pretty much. They do sell K-bars down there. A little expensive, but
Well, it's special.
for a good cause. So.
Joint services.
Right. Earl was the ammunition depot.
And he trained my son in communications with various branches. He went on to work for MCI. And
Ask about our special terrorist elimination discount.
Well, you had all that experience.
Oh, yeah,
So
he
that
was-
worked out.
The only easy day was yesterday. That's a SEAL motto. Somebody left their hat here.
Okay, I'm gonna just
Talk at you later.
step over half an hour or so, to be all right?
All right.
See you in a bit.
Okay.
Thanks.
I looked up at you, Tom, and I went, oh my gosh, you need lunch. I'm like, dang. All right, bye, Tom.
Okay.
Massage. $20. All American Infidel. They're actually doing a raffle for this M4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I entered
still
it.
talking.
Yeah, I'm still talking to myself.
Keep going.
She's wanting to come at me here.
No craziness here.
Let's see, we'll try maybe buy something here to help support them.